Now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show brings you famous celebrities and amazing people from all over the world. Listen online at themikewagnershow.com and on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And watch the interview on YouTube. So sit back and relax and enjoy the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey, Mike, it's the G-Man here.
Hey, everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show and G-Man, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support at sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. Also, check our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Also, Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Apple, Google Play. And take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device and subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. We're back once again with the very famous comedian Allan Gitlin, the G-Man from the Jersey Shore. Of course, he's been in quite a number of movies, including a movie with Jennifer Aniston. He's also a Lyft driver, and he's been an actor, comedian for many, many years, and he's just got some great stories to tell. And, of course, he's got a very important story to tell as well, too, coming up around Veterans Day, and, of course, what happened on 9/11 as well, too, as we get close to the end of the year. And also, he's also been involved in a major project which got over 10 million hits. He'll tell you about that. He served in the armed forces. And before we get into all that, ladies and gentlemen, live from the Jersey Shore, just giving you an uplift to everything, Allan the G-Man Gitlin. G-Man, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining.
How you doing, Mike? What's going on, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing great, G-Man. You happy day to you. So from the Jersey Shore, beautiful out and just very uplifting day, have to say.
Yeah, it's about 80-something degrees here today. It's sunny. Very nice day today.
Yeah.
Similar to the day of 9/11 when 9/11 happened. So it's kind of weird, same kind of day, kind of.
Okay, so you've been a comedian for quite some time, and you've been in a video which got over 10 million hits. You can tell us about that. Yep. But first of all, before we get into our Veterans Day special, you serve in the armed forces, and you have an interesting 9/11 story to share, and you can just tell us all about that.
Yeah, well, my dad was in the hospital a couple of days before 9/11, and unfortunately he passed away at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I'm so sorry.
And my best friend is a very Jewish religious guy who goes to synagogue every morning to pray. And, of course, we weren't calling anybody, he died at 3 in the morning. We weren't calling anybody till like 10 o'clock, And he went to pray in the synagogue, and a gentleman, another prayer guy, said to him, "Would you stay a couple of minutes extra because I need a ride to the train?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm saying a prayer for my uncle. He's in the hospital. We don't know what's going on. He's very sick." And he was extremely close to my dad also. And by doing that, he was the first train not allowed to go into New York City. And he worked in Power One, so he would have been dead.
Oh, wow. Okay. So that's
there's more to the story, though. So his wife was teaching in a school where his 16-year-old daughter was going to school, and they called her over to PA, and she was crying all the way down the hallway, thinking that her father was dead. Of course, she was upset because she did know my father, but it wasn't her father. So it was a very strange situation, but very strange day, and it's a very strange day for me because I was very close to my dad, and I did go to I go to the cemetery every year on this day, and it was just a strange story, but my dad dying actually saved my best friend's life. That's very, kind of weird, but good in a way,
And of course, when the train stopped as well, too, what were some of the thoughts that ran through their heads if it wasn't for 9/11? Maybe like a power outage, or maybe somebody had a medical issue. What are some of the thoughts that people went through their heads that at the time was like first train stopped?
I don't think he knew because they were in the synagogue, so they didn't know the news. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they really didn't know what was going on. All they knew was they said the trains weren't running anymore.
Uh-huh.
So and I happened to be the first train not allowed to go into the World Trade Center.
Mm-hmm.
So he probably would have been dead if he wasn't in the tower. He might have been crushed underneath everything, because the train, the path goes underneath at the time. Went underneath the World Trade Center.
Mm-hmm.
So he was going to take the train to Newark and then switch to the path and go right to the World Trade Center.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of weird, kind of interesting,
Right, exactly. And plus, when you first heard the news, like when the first plane hit, what were the first thoughts that ran through your head?
Well, you know what? I was in a funeral home, and the guy said something hit the World Trade Center, and he had the TV on, and then the second one hit. We actually saw it from the funeral home. We were making funeral arrangements, and we had no clue what the hell was going on,
Uh-huh.
So, it was it was just a weird day for us completely. We've been up all night. Like I said, he died at like 3 a.m, so we were up all night. It was just a crazy day for us, really was.
Mm-hmm. Now, were any of your friends or other family members, were they affected in any way by World Trade Center? In other words, it's like, say with family, like so-and-so, passed away, so-and-so survived, and maybe a similar story. I can show you mine in a minute.
Well, my brother-in-law, my two sisters were here, and my one sister lived in St. Louis, and she had flown in the day before. And my brother-in-law, we actually held the funeral up for him, and they wouldn't let him through where the plane hit in Pennsylvania. And he had to tell them, listen, they're holding the funeral up for me because my father-in-law passed away on that day. And he finally got somebody to listen to him, and finally they let him through. But it took them like 3 or 4 days to get here because they wouldn't let him through.
Mm-hmm.
And he was trying to get here as fast as possible because in Jewish religion, you're supposed to bury people as soon as possible, So my dad had to be like, I don't know if you want to say on ice or whatever, for 4 days or 5 days, whatever it was, for him to get here, So it was kind of, he had to show his credentials, and he had to explain to him that, they're holding the funeral up for me, and finally somebody listened. I don't know who he got to, but somebody eventually listened to him, and he was able to get through, But it took him a couple extra days to get through because no planes were flying at the time.
Mm-hmm. That's understandable when you have a national disaster like that. And I can share my story as well, too, that I didn't have any family or friends, affected by the World Trade Center. But then when I worked for a private academy back up in Illinois, and I was driving my son to school, and I worked there, and he went to kindergarten, I heard the news that it interrupted a news story, and I was listening to news radio at the time, and it said, CBS special report, a plane hit the World Trade Center, and I thought, is this a ridiculous Howard Stern stunt? It's just like, they're known for, such shenanigans like that, or it's like maybe Mancow did a stunt like, hit a helicopter, maybe like one of those toy planes or something, and then a second plane hit, and I thought, okay, is this really a joke or what? And I was really scratching my head. And then the third, when it hit, it was given over the radio. Of course, I had to listen to radio during the commute to the academy, and I said, something's going on. I don't know if the airlines aren't doing their job. I'm trying to think. The radar went out. Was it control towers problems? And then the fourth, it was on the verge of hitting the Pentagon, but it crashed in the field. I said, this is getting ridiculous. And then we found out the real news. And I just said, this was just unbelievable. And also, I was going to tell you, too, that I knew of a guy that I worked with. His cousin was working in accounting in the trade, and he called in sick that day. And if he went to work that day healthy, he would have been dead. So luckily, he was sick, but felt bad for the guy who took over. And then the second one that I knew that he was looking for a multi-billion-dollar deal, and he worked in import-export trade, and he was trying to look for a deal and was getting close to broke. And then he was working with some Asian company. It was up in the 110th or 120th floor, like the very top of the trade, and they were ready to close the deal. And by the time they were ready to close the deal, the phones went dead, the plane hit, and the deal was dead. That was just sad.
Crazy shit, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of crazy stuff went on that day,
Mm-hmm. And of course, I thought about as well too. If we were to go live as well, like take some calls and just share some stories. But we've seen a lot of it on Facebook already too. So this will go on and everything else. And of course, we just want to say our thoughts and prayers are still with you guys, and we're all praying for you as well, too. And let's all pray for each other affected by the World Trade Center.
Yep.
Yep, that's right.
And, you said about I was in the service. I wasn't in the service. I missed the draft, but my number was 308, and I never got called. But I do wear a POW bracelet from Vietnam. I bought it at the age of 17. I am now almost 67, and I wear it almost every day. The gentleman was the first pilot shot down in Vietnam. And hold on 1 second. And his name is Jefferson Scott Dodson. He was a lieutenant. They made him captain when he got shot down on 8/9/69.
Mm-hmm.
And they found his body, his bones, and his co-pilot bones in Laos in 2002. He does have a daughter who's on an air base in England somewhere, and I did try to send this to her, but she will not contact me back, so I don't know what the problem is there. I would think if it was my father, I certainly would want it. Mm-hmm. And I wear it almost every day. It's part of my watch, like my watch and that goes on together, kind of, and
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool. It's 50 years old, and there aren't that many left because I bought it for like $15 or $20 when I was out of high school, like 1 week. Somebody was selling these things for the people in Vietnam missing in action, and from what I understand, this guy was the first pilot shot down.
Wow!
So I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it's true or not, but I've had the bracelet over 50 years, just about 50 years now.
Mm-hmm.
I graduated high school in 1969. I was 17 years old. I wasn't 18 until October, and I've had it on off and on. But I've worn it the last couple of years, almost every day, the last 5 or 6 years.
Wow, that is something. And of course, you talked about graduating in 1969 as well, too. And of course, it was such a tumultuous time. You had the riots and everything else. And was there a lot of demonstrations at your school at the time? Was it nearby? And how many demonstrations were against Vietnam?
We had demonstrations, but it wasn't too terrible by me. But there were demonstrations, and we had some riots here and there on different things. Some racial riots, in Newark and in Red Bank and some of the Patterson and a few other towns, around. It was the times. It was a tumultuous time for our whole country, and I lived through it, good or bad, and you had Woodstock, and you had a lot of stuff going on, and free love, and all this other bullshit going on, and you had to pick through it. I had a cousin who nobody has seen since he was 21 years old. He thought the communists owned everything, and his father had a lot of money. He had a scholarship to Boston University, football scholarship, and he walked away from it and walked away from everything and everybody. When his father was dying, they tried to find him. He's got 2 sisters. One's a doctor, and one's a psychologist in New York. And they tried to find him, and they couldn't find him. Then when his mother was passing away, they tried to find him again. And they hired a private detective. And the only thing he could tell is that he was on a fishing boat in Florida somewhere off the coast of Fort Lauderdale. They don't know if he was alive, if he was dead, if he was in prison, if he changed his name, if he changed Social Security number. And nobody has seen him. My sister's going to be 70, so he would be about 70 years old, and nobody's seen him since he was 21 years old.
Wow. Unbelievable. Yeah. And of course, there's one more question before we get to some of your updates as well, too, that if you got selected in the draft, would you accept the chance to go to Vietnam and fight for your country, or would you have gone to Canada?
Well, I would have. My mother said I was going to Canada, though, but my mother said, her brothers were in the war, and she didn't want to see me go, but I said, Mom, I'm going if I get drafted. And she said, well, we'll see about that when the time comes. So she might have shipped me off to Canada, but I don't know about that. Might have been a fight. There might have been a fight going on there,
And, of course, you probably get hit by hockey pucks as well, too. You never know.
It could be. Yeah, some people think I'm a hockey puck anyway. Oh, no, that's something else. I don't know. But anyway.
I'm thinking of Don Rickles. And okay, we'll get an update from you in just a minute. You've been in a video which got 10 million hits. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, and iTunes, Apple, and Google Play. Also, take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device and subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on YouTube today. We're here with a comedian from the Jersey Shore, Allan the G-Man Gitlin. He was talking about his 9/11 story for this Veterans Day special, and also had some Veterans Day stories with family, friends, and everything else, and wearing a bracelet he's had for the past 50 years, and you can also look up that. But other than that, he's had a really good run lately. He's been in commercials, he's been in movies, and the big news for the G-Man, he's in a video that he's part of, and you can judge him or not. He'll declare guilty or not guilty, and it's gotten 10 million hits. And tell us all about this video and how you got 10 million hits.
Okay, well, the video, a music video, the artist is Lil TJ. He's an up-and-coming rapper. He's 18 years old, and the name of the video is FNN because he uses some nasty language in it. Unfortunately, they can't put on a CD or an album. Mm-hmm. He was just signed by Columbia Records, and it's got now 11.8 million hits in 2 weeks.
Wow.
And I played a judge in it. If you look on it, you'll see me, and you'll see what I look like, because if you go to my website, www.theg-man.net, you'll see what I look like. And I played a judge in it for like the last minute and a half of a 5-minute video. Really cool, very nice kid. I met him. He was in the witness box, and I said, "Hey, little TJ, you're talking to everybody but the judge, man. If you want to get off, you better talk to the judge." So he did. He actually did get off. He actually did get off, to the surprise of the prosecutor, who was pretty cool. But it was a really cool video. And I've also done in the last couple of months a movie called Kurt. I was an extra in that, and supposedly that's sold to Netflix already. That was a really cool shoot, very nice shoot, done in Harlem in New York City. And I have a funny story about that, actually. I didn't know where to go. It was on St. Nicholas Avenue in the Bronx, in Brooklyn, in Manhattan, which is way up in Harlem. And so I asked the guy in Madison Square Garden. There's a guy who's like a guide. He tells you where different subways go and all that, if you're not sure, and what subway to take to this street or that street or whatever. So I asked this guy, and he says, well, the one train goes to 181st Street and St. Nicholas Avenue. I said, well, that's all well and good. And so I take it. The only problem was they were shooting at 127th Street and St. Nicholas Avenue.
Oh, no.
That's 53 blocks. Okay? So me being in such great shape as I am, or either that or I'm dumb, one of the two, I don't know. I walked 53 blocks an hour and 15 minutes.
Wow.
In 95-degree weather.
Oh, that is dedication, and I'm sure they appreciate it for it. It's like, we'd love to have you on, and I'm sure they showed a huge gratitude of thanks. It's like, 115 degrees, and walking that many, it's like, I don't know if many of us can do that. It's like, that's amazing.
Yeah, yeah, and I thought I was going to be 2 hours late, and they didn't shoot this. They didn't start to shoot till I was there about 2 hours after that before they started to shoot, and we worked till like 1 in the morning. I actually got overtime. I got there 2 hours late and got overtime. Figure that out. I don't know. It's kind of weird, And I was I'm also in an episode. There's an episodic coming out called Standard Deviation about DIFUS system and how kids are handled and how kids get unruly. And that should be coming out within the next 6 or 8 months. It's still going on. They've already had 3 episodes. They're doing another episode, I believe, in 2 weeks. and I play security, or actually crisis management, they call it crisis management, but it's basically a security guard who pulls people out of situations and makes sure the teachers don't get hurt or the instructors don't get hurt, in a specialized school. So it's pretty cool too. And the guy who wrote it, he was involved with diapers for like 10 years in a special school, and he knows how the kids react and how to handle them and all that. So that's a pretty cool little thing. It's been going on for like the last month or so, since I guess July. It's been like every 3 weeks or something we've shot an episode, and it's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff going on.
That is amazing. What are some of the other projects you've been in, and how about some of the commercials as well too? You made some big news when you appeared in a Verizon ad.
Yeah, I was in a commercial for Verizon in the last 6 months for. They have a new phone app for Konia, I believe it's called. I don't know, where it's for delivery people and for construction people. They can just sign on the app to get their stuff. So it's on their website. It's on AT&T's website, and the salesmen are using it to show people what this app does. And I played the delivery man actually in this commercial. So it was pretty cool.
And did you get to play with the phone itself? And if you did, what'd you think?
Yeah, they showed me I showed the customer how to sign for the package actually, and it looked like it was pretty easy to do. There's a couple of little things to do, and then the signature comes. Where you're supposed to sign comes up, and you just sign it with your finger, kind of. Now you don't need actually a pen. Actually, it's just your finger. You write your name with your finger. Pretty cool.
That is really nice. Yeah. I guess signing in blood will take on a different meaning. And do they take signatures in blood with those new phones or something?
I guess so. Yeah, it's probably called a blood phone now.
There you go. Yeah.
Instead of Galaxy 8, it'll be a Blood 8 or something.
Yeah, Blood 8. Yeah, exactly. All right, we'll talk about your upcoming projects, and if you got some lift stories, that'd be great. But first of all, you listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without break your own budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@SonicWebStudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Also on Radio Public, Anchor FM, iTunes, Apple, Google Play. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. And don't forget to subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. We're here with comedian from the Jersey Shore, Allan the G-Man Gitlin. He was talking about his 9/11 story, a little bit about some of the Veteran Day stories involving family and friends, and a really cool update about his appearing in a video, being the judge and you be the jury to the side, where it's gotten over 11 million hits and just keeps going and going. Quite a few films and quite a few commercials. And tell us about your upcoming projects. What do you got in the works for us?
Well, I'm trying to put together a comedy act with a black guy. I think I told you this once before, where he's going to be Frank White and I'm going to be Willie Black. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be called the Unpolitically Correct Comedy Duo. And it's going to be picking on both races. For example, one of the bits is that I'm Jewish. So he asked me as a Jewish guy, what do we do on Christmas Day? And I say, well, we go to the movies and eat Chinese food. And what do you do as a black man? Well, we're robbing your house, so you're at the movies and eating Chinese food.
We're going to rob your Chinese food. I love it.
While you're there, while you're there, we're going to be robbing your house. You know what I'm saying? So, it's going to be funny stuff. It's going to be edgy. We're going to have a disclaimer that says if ethical humor bothers you, you better leave now, because it's all going to be about black and white. Because I think All in the Family and the Jeffersons and the Good Times were extremely funny shows back in the day, and people are afraid of that now. And I don't think there's anything to be afraid of, because everyday life is funny, and we do look at things differently from the two races. We have a lot of things that are different, and they're actually kind of funny. Think about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's not. Listen, humor is made to be funny. Comedy is made to make you forget about what's going on in your life, So, we're not trying to pick on anybody. We're not trying to pick on any race or color or creed, whatever. But we want it to be funny, and it is funny, So I'm trying to get that together, and of course I have some Lyft stories that just happened just recently, which is extremely funny. I had one happen just like 2 weeks ago, and it's extremely funny. And I'm going to tell you about it, and when you hear it, you're going to be hysterical because if it didn't happen to me, I wouldn't believe it. Okay, so
what's that phrase you use? It's like you can't make this stuff up.
Yeah, you can't make this up. No. So I pick up this lady, and she says to me, "I haven't eaten in 3 days. Could we go to Burger King? There's a Burger King nearby where I picked her up." And I said, "Sure. We'll go. I'll take you to Burger King. You order a couple of hamburgers, and we'll go on our way." So I drive in the drive-in. Well, she proceeds to order number 6 or 7, whatever. Anyway, it's $10.55 worth of food. The only problem is she doesn't have any money.
Oh, no.
So now I got a bag coming at me with a drink, and I'm like, I got to pay for it now, because, the lady has no money. And then she continues to say, well, I do this with all the Lyft drivers.
Oh, jeez.
Right. So I take her home, and the ride is $17.10. Okay, so I got basically gypped out of. I made $7 on this freaking ride. Okay. Wait. So I email Lyft, and I say, listen, this lady ought to be charged for this, or I want my money. And they're like, well, that was very nice of you to buy her food, but guess what? You're out your $10. And I said, and I don't want this lady in my car again. And I explained to him that she's been doing this to every Lyft driver that's picked her up.
Oh,
I mean, you feel sorry. If somebody, says they haven't eaten in 3 days, you feel sorry for them as a human being. You know what I mean? I want to send them a star. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking she's going to buy 2 hamburgers, maybe. She ends up spending $10.55, and then tells me she has no money.
Oh, jeez. That is unbelievable. And she thinks she's a Burger King? Oh, please.
I mean, really. So she's doing this to every driver who picks her up. Okay? So every Lyft driver is getting screwed. Okay? I told them, I don't want this lady in my car again.
Oh, my gosh. That is unbelievable.
You can't make this up. You cannot. You can't make this up.
I think I've heard just about every story. I think this tops it all. So.
I mean, what do you think? And then you tell me that you do this all the time. Why? If you did it to me, why would you tell me you do it all the time?
Sometimes you'll wonder, what are they thinking? And, oh, my gosh, I think I've heard some stories like that. I've encountered a few myself, but when you're trying to tell corporate, it's like they take it a different way. It's like, go figure. Oh, my gosh.
Right. So I don't know, I don't know what they're going to do about it. If I was them, I'd ban her from Lyft, but that's up to them. I can't tell them what to do,
Mm-hmm.
I told them I don't want this lady in my car again because I'm not eating $10.55. Hey, I don't mind buying my girlfriend $10.55 for somebody I don't even know. That's I'm pretty generous, but now I'm not that generous.
$10.55 doesn't mean a lot to people, but oh my goodness!
No, you know what? It wasn't a $10 that she was trying to get away with it. You know what I'm saying? And you've been doing this to every Lyft driver that picks you up, and you told me that. But you didn't tell me that until after I paid for the meal, though.
Oh, well, I guess a lesson to Lyft drivers: beware of who you pick up. And I hope this gets out to a lot of Lyft drivers. Maybe they'll learn a lesson or two. It's like, watch who you're buying for, I have to say. Or maybe you could say, hey, why don't you buy me hamburgers first before we buy you hamburgers? Let's try that.
Right.
Oh,
well, actually, when she got in the car and she said she hadn't eaten, I said, well, I don't have any money. And next thing I know, she goes, will you take me to Burger King? So I'm thinking, okay, she's got money,
Uh-huh.
And then I think she's going to order 2 hamburgers maybe and a soda, and she ends up spending $10.55. I'm like, really? And then she tells me when the bag's coming, I don't have any money. I'm like, well, now what am I supposed to do? The guy's giving me the bag, and a cup for and a medium drink or something. What am I supposed to do now? Tell him take it back. I can't tell them to take it back now, you know?
Oh, my gosh. Of all the people, and I think you've had some more uplifting stories as well, too, but that tops it all, I'll tell you that. And I think I really like the one that you told as well, too. Maybe you can just rehash a little bit and maybe some other ones. It's pretty funny, actually. You should do a show called Uplifting Stories, Stuff You Can't Make Up.
Right. Which story are you talking about, Mike?
Oh, let's see. I'm trying to think of the one that, I think I'm drawing a blank.
Well, there's a couple, and here's one of them. I pick up a lady, and she's very pretty, but she's very huge, okay? Now, I used to be in the car business, so she's telling me she's looking for a car, and so I say, listen, if you're going to get a new car, you lease it. If you're going to get a used car, you buy it. The next words out of her mouth was, I hope this doesn't offend you, but I've been leasing out part of my body for years.
Oh, jeez.
And she proceeds to tell me the body part.
Oh, jeez.
I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Oh,
what is wrong with you? Why would you say that in the car? You know?
Only in New York, I'll tell you that.
And then there was another one where I picked up a lady, and she was going, I'm going to tell you, she was going a half a mile from her house. And I tell you this for a reason. Okay, so she's on the phone with her boyfriend, a young girl, about 22, 23 years old maybe. And I guess he asked her who picked her up, and she said, it's older white gentleman. Well, I don't know if I'm older, but I'm white. Yeah, okay. But anyway, so, and the next thing I hear is, we're going to do the nasty later. And
boy.
And then the next words out of her mouth was, there's a certain thing you don't like to do on me.
Uh-oh.
Do I need to hear this? Really? Do I really? You're going half a mile. You couldn't wait till you got out of the car?
Jeez.
You know what I mean? Like, what is wrong with these people?
My gosh. I guess it kind of explains with society and everything else. They're looking for attention and everything else. But I have to say
stupidity.
This. Oh.
Just sheer stupidity, you know? I mean, what is wrong with these people?
Oh, my God.
Do you not have any filters? Do you not have any ethics? Do you not have any common sense? I don't know. What is it?
I think I have to say it's that in New York you can get away with just about everything, but be thankful it's not Las Vegas. It's like whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but social media, it just gets out all over. So I guess that's another lesson for Lyft drivers. It's like they do something like that. Yeah, watch out. And make sure it's not a burger, too. So... Oh, my
crazy! I mean, just crazy stuff, you know. Just like, do you not have a filter? Do you not have a filter in your life? Do you not have some brains in your head, or what?
Unbelievable, unbelievable. Well,
there's one more that I can tell you real quick. So I pick up this guy, and I had an Explorer at the time. I no longer have my Explorer. I have an Audi now, but I had an Explorer for a couple of years. And so I have this Explorer. It's a 2013, and it's a real nice car. And I pick up this guy, and he's sitting in the front with me. Oh, no, he's sitting in the back. And it's a share ride. So I pick up this young couple, about 22, 23 years old. And now the Explorer back seat is pretty big. You know what I mean? It's a pretty wide car. So they say to him, could you come sit in the front? So he sits in the front, and I drop him off. And I turn around. And I notice he's got his hand in her private area, and she's got her hand in his private area. And I'm saying, where are you guys going anyway? Well, we're going to a courthouse because he's got a judgment against him from his ex-wife or girlfriend or whatever about a kid. And so when he gets out, he adjusts his underwear. And I just sat there and laughed because why would you do this in a car that you have no idea the guy in front of you who he is? Like, what is wrong with you?
Oh, my goodness. Oh.
I just was amazed that somebody would do that in a car with a stranger. You went total of about 5 miles with this guy. And you know, I do have a rear view mirror, you know. I didn't look at it. I wasn't paying attention to what they were doing, but, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Where are your ethics, your I don't know what you want to call it, your morals or something. I don't know.
And manners, too, you're right. And, of course, it's what the world is these days. And I have to say this. It's like I'm just speechless to what's going on, to be honest with you. I'm just speechless right now.
Yep. And all I hate to say this, it was all people under the age of 30.
Uh-oh. I guess what
I don't want to blame.
I guess
I don't want to blame millennials. What?
I guess I'll put our own warning labels on it and maybe call it the Mike Wagner Politically Incorrect Show or something with the G-Man. It's like, oh my gosh, all things, but like, I have to say this. I don't want to pick on young people, but it's all young people under 30, which is ridiculous. I don't get it. Right.
So.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next time as well, too. Maybe a little comedy skit as well, too. And once again, G-Man, just want to say a big thank you for your time. Allan Gitlin, the comedian from the Jersey Shore. Tell everybody again what's your upcoming projects, what's your website, and how do people contact you?
You can get a hold of me on www.theg-man.net. Also, my Facebook page, The G-Man Cometh Too. I always have, on Wednesdays, usually have Wacky Wednesday, and I usually have a positive note. Today is an exception only because it's 9/11 and my dad passed away, so I had a little thing about him passing away on this day. Otherwise, it's always positive and upbeat. And if you read my posts or you see my Instagram, it's always positive on a Wednesday. It's called Wacky Wednesday, and I always post it to Instagram also. So
that's great.
It's Gitlin Allan on Instagram.
That's great. We're looking forward to that, G-Man. Just want to say a big thank you for your time. Look forward to having you on again. And do us a favor, keep this up to date. It's always great to have you on. You definitely make me laugh and really uplifting, as I say. Thanks again. You've been fantastic.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it, Mike. It's a pleasure anytime, buddy. Just let me know when.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Listen online at themikewagnershow.com and on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And watch the interview on YouTube. Also, become a sponsor of the program and or donate today at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again tomorrow for another episode of The Mike Wagner Show.